Hello, it's Nikki here. This has been, I think, 2 weeks since my last video that I recorded for my vlog, and I have no reason. I'd usually do it on Tuesdays. My last Tuesday got away from me. I had it written and just didn't have a chance to record it. And family is always number one, so that is what ended up, getting in the way. And oh well, here I am, 2 weeks later. That's okay. So the post that I am wanting to talk about today is being able to say no. I grew up in the era of just say no. If you don't know what that is, that probably means you're a lot younger than me, because Just Say No was the anti-drug campaign started by Miss Nancy Reagan when she was in the White House as the first lady to Ronald Reagan. And Just Say No was everywhere. Seriously, everywhere. It was on billboards, it was on TV commercials, it was taught in schools, everywhere. It was absolutely everywhere. Unfortunately, we were only taught to say no to drugs, which is obviously an important thing and a good thing. But I had no trouble doing that, personally. No issue saying no to drugs. I wasn't interested in that. People I hung out with weren't interested in that. It wasn't part of my experience, still isn't. It's just not something in my life. Fast forward a whole bunch of years. As a young overachiever, because that's what I was, I said yes to everything. Well, everything except drugs. But literally, I said yes to nearly everything else. To be clear, it's not like I was a pushover or easily influenced by peer pressure. I didn't give in to things that I knew were going to be bad or dangerous or things like that. It was the good stuff that I said yes to all the time. So by the time I finished high school, ready? I had played basketball, softball, volleyball, bowled on several leagues. I did that every year of my life, I think. I took roller skating lessons. I was a brownie. I took a painting class. I took gymnastics. I took ballet, which I got kicked out of because apparently I tried to teach the class. My mom can tell you more about that one. I took jazz dancing, and in addition to all that, I was on the board for SAD, Students Against Drunk Driving, and Interact, which was like a junior optimist volunteer group. I was a member of National Honor Society. I was a member of the Earth Club. I performed in the senior show. I presented at elementary schools for DARE, Just Say No. I took college physics classes in high school because I had exhausted my school's supply of science classes, because I took everything they offered. Seriously, there's more. Still more. Ask my mom. She will proudly fill you in on all the gaps because she loves the achieving. That was always something that she was very proud of, both of my parents actually. And I was too, frankly. I was very proud of all the things I had accomplished. But now it's exhausting even thinking about it. Looking back, if someone had said to me, hey, why don't we? I went, okay, before the sentence was even finished, generally. So saying yes to pretty much everything that came up did a few different things for me. It definitely put me on the overachiever track. Hey, sign up for Honors English and you get to go on a 3-day field trip to a different city every year. Yes, sign me up. I'm going. Hey, you want to go to basketball camp? Yes. Yes, I do. I didn't even ask who was going to be there, where we were going. I just signed up. The other thing saying yes did was it meant I had a lot on my plate. I became really great at time management, being so busy. I had a planner, I wrote down everything, I highlighted it or checked it off when I did it all the time. What's the saying? If you want something done, ask a busy person. I was that person. Add to that the tendency to say yes to everything, the fact that I'm also a recovering perfectionist. For real, I spent a lot of time and a lot of money on therapy, mostly dealing with letting go of that perfectionism. That'll be a whole nother conversation at some point. In my adulthood, I've started reducing the amount of things that I say yes to. Of course, at first, that comes with some guilt. Kind of a lot of guilt, because, gosh, I can do it. I know I can. I can do everything. Letting go of that guilt can be a challenge. So here's how I do it. The first part is determining your priorities. That's key. For me, the short version of that is myself, my family, my friends. I'm going to let you sink that in for a minute. I'm going to address that part specifically because I know somebody right now is reeling because I put myself first on that list. Here's the thing though, you guys. If you've ever been on an airplane, you know that they tell you to put on your own oxygen mask first if there's a disaster and the oxygen masks come down. Put on your own mask first before you try to help anyone else. There's a reason for that. It's because if you die, you can't take care of anyone else. Can't help anybody else anyway. It's absolutely critical to make yourself a priority and take care of yourself. Protect your own self fiercely. Your health and your sanity depend on it. You can't serve anyone else if you're not around. It's just not an option. So I come first. Once you know your own priorities, because you can't worry about making them match up with mine or someone else's, they have to mean something to you. They have to be important to you. They're your priorities. Once you know that, then you can determine what makes sense for you to do and what doesn't. So let's try it. Ready? Hey, can you attend the fundraiser for XYZ next week? Well, what day is it? It's on Thursday. That means I'd have to skip taking my kids to gymnastics and have someone else do it. They really like it when I'm there to watch them, and I like being there to watch them. So no, I can't attend the fundraiser. Do I feel bad about it? No, I don't. Maybe at first I'm hesitant, but no, I don't feel bad about it because my family trumps the fundraiser. Sometimes it's a little bit fuzzier what the best answer should be. It's not always super cut and dry. For example, I was recently asked to present at a workshop for my business. And it happens that it falls right during my kids' bedtime, which is generally a time I keep sacred. We spend, no joke, about an hour and a half every night upstairs between my two kids' bedrooms doing stories and talking and one-on-one time, and it's awesome. It's the best part of my day. I absolutely love it. The kids love it. They talk to me about everything under the sun. I keep that time sacred. But advancing in my career means more time freed up to do things like that with my kids. Travel, spend one-on-one time, take them on outings, things like that. This opportunity is likely to help me advance in my career, which would then provide that opportunity for me to have more time with my kids. So that makes it a yes. Bedtime was, by the way, completely out of whack that night because even though my kids are 9 and 13, they're not just going to go, okay, well, mom's busy, I'm just going to go to bed. Nope. They get ready for bed. They go upstairs. They sit in their rooms. They lay on their beds, and they wait for me. And unless it's so late that they will just conk out on their own, they're going to wait for me. It's just what happens. So bedtime was out of whack that night, which is not great. But in the grand scheme of things, it still aligns with my priorities. So that's a good thing. So here's my criteria, basically. If it takes me away from the priorities I identified as important to me, then it's a no. If it supports my priorities overall, then it's probably going to be a yes. I'm going to end this with a line that I recently heard that I think sums it up perfectly. It's from an author, podcaster, blogger. You may have heard of her, maybe not. She's an influencer in the social media world too. Her name is Jen Hatmaker, and she has a book called For the Love. And in that book, she says, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. It's really that simple. You know right away if you should be saying yes or saying no to something. So take that with you. I would love to hear your feedback on that, on how you choose what to put on your plate and what to say no to. So share with me in the comments what you take from this and how you deal with your own priorities yourself. I would love to have that feedback and have a conversation with you about it. Otherwise, have a great day. Talk to you guys next week.